Okay, so the store ended up buying all my pieces yesterday. It was amazing. They wiped me out completely. I need to fill up the booth, so I'm going to make some pieces right here. And someone mentioned that they'd like me to just talk right through it, not try to speed, not try to do anything fancy, but just carefully explain how each step is done. So I need to make a ton of these. I might as well take you guys with me. I'm going to use up this 20 gauge silver. I'll take about 3 feet of this. We'll start with the blue stone. I think it's some type of agate. And very pretty. Look at that. Okay, anyway, this has a hole drilled right at the top there, just through the very top. So we're gonna go through here. Uh-oh, looks like it's blocked. All right, good news, I was able to poke it out with my bead reamer, and let's do this. So I'm coming through here. I always like to work from the middle of the wire. I have about it right here. Now I'm gonna press it flat from both sides against the stone, like this, and now I'm going to twist. It makes this pretty twisted pattern. You can make the pattern come all the way around for the loop at the top of your stone. I'm just going to bring the two ends together and just make the loop like this. So this is the loop at the top of our stone. Now I want to, it's a little bit too elongated. I want to make it more round. So I can try to force with my fingers. I can take these guys, the round nose pliers, which are specifically made for making loops, and I can try to, you know, make it more circular. There you go, I like that better. So now I'm going to wrap it around itself. That'll get it tight in place for a minute. All right. Bear with me. I'm going to try to stay in camera for you guys the whole time. All right. I'll wrap around one more time. I don't like how that didn't look tight. Okay, now this is a standard way that works really well if you have a stone with no hole. And I'm just going to come around both sides like this evenly, and I'm just going to make a triangle across the face of it like this. First, we make like 2 scallops on each side. Bring them together. Twist, 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 about 4 or 5 times. All right, you see that? Put the twisted part flat against the stone, open them up again, and scallop again. Now you can go bent, 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 make a, triangle. I don't like it to make a perfect triangle because it looks boring to me to just have a horizontal line. So I'll try to do it a little bit diagonal. Maybe right here. Maybe coming up a little bit. Yeah, coming down. We'll go coming down. I think that'll help it grab the stone better. All right, we're going to go twist, 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 and lay it flat again. And that brings us right back up to the loop at the top. And we're going to bring this guy around, bring one side around, make it tight, bring the other side around, make it tight. All right, now that's held in place. Really, once you have a hole drilled, you're pretty much anchored immediately, but in any case, now you have some somewhat of a framework going around the whole of the stone. Now it's time to have some fun. So we're going to bring these two together, and I'm just going to make a swirly pattern coming down the front and then come back up to the top, wrap it around the loop, which I call scarfing it because it's like this is a face. Come on, camera, focus better. And that's pretty much it. Now, the swirly part, and you'll see as I wrap all these stones, when I do a swirly part, I like to do the double strand because it makes it look prettier. Sometimes I'll do quadruple strand if I fold a wire in half. But it consists mostly of just swirls back and forth, an occasional loop, and once in a while I'll separate the strands and then bring them back together in that really cool swirl where they just chase each other around and around like two people square dancing. So In this case, I don't want to be that fancy. I only have a little bit of space here. I don't want to cover the stone too much. So I'm holding it flat. I'm pressing it against the stone every step of the way. As I make curves, I'm pressing it. As I make loops, I'm pressing it. I use my thumb as like the fulcrum to allow the loop to take shape. So here goes. Bend it like that. And now I have to hold it real tight and bend it backwards. And see that loop? Now I always overshoot my loop because you can always come back out of it. And sometimes it'll force you back out. So I'm going to make it really tight. Really tight. And I think that looks pretty than just like a more open loop. I don't like this straight part right here, so I'm going to even bend that. Okay. Now, more loops. And see how that's kind of a zigzaggy diagonal? It's on an angle. That's on purpose too. I'm pressing them tighter and tighter. The tighter you get stuff, the more room you have, and the better it looks, and the stronger it usually is. All right. How many of these? We can just keep doing these, but I'm gonna put a full loop in there. I don't know what you would... I guess you would call these are bends and this is a loop, right? Whatever makes it easier to follow. Let's see. All right, simple loop. Now I can just keep going. I can make another loop. You know, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. You're just covering the face of it. I'm going to come around and make one more loop going the other way. Again, I'm pressing with my thumb tight against the stone, like that. And I think that's enough to end it. Sometimes I'll separate the strands. Sometimes they look prettier if they're not super tight together. So I'm going to separate them at the end here. And I'm going to come back up. And bring them back together to do my scarf. Pressing tight all the way. Tight, tight, tight. Everything is tight. And now I'm going to wrap it here. Wrap it around. My loop isn't as big as I normally make it, so I don't have too much room to scarf it. I'm going to go around one more time. And then this is what I almost always do. Scarfing it makes this bowl right here. Oh, all right, there you go. It makes this bowl right here. And I'll cut off these two ends and then just shove the sharp ends right in that bowl. And it's like one of the safest ways, so they disappear forever. And the piece is complete, and you don't have to worry about hiding a sharp end somewhere where it could pop out and scratch someone. So I cut it halfway across the loop. See that? And sometimes I'll do them both at once, or I'll just... this is key. You want to cut just the right amount. Not too much, not too little. This doesn't want to focus all of a sudden. There we go. And you want to be careful those pieces don't shoot up at you. You want to aim it away from yourself, unless you're wearing glasses or goggles. Okay, so I just tucked them in a diagonal movement. I pinched and I tucked them like that. 1, 2, or sometimes both at once. They're now shoved in there. If you're still worried about them coming out, put a drop of E6000 in there. Now, test it. I like this. It's not centered. I want to recenter it. Some of these loops moved. I want to move them back. Okay, that's kind of wonky. I feel like they're too tight here, and then there's too much empty space like right here. So, you know what? I could mess with these loops. I think I'm going to mess with these guys now. I'm going to crimp them. That'll kind of take the place here. Just a nice perpendicular straight down, hold it tight, and turn it, crimp it. And that gives you like a diagonal, a lightning bolt. It also tightens it. Double function. It looks good and it tightens it. And that one, there we go. Okay. It's kind of fun. Normally, this part here, these can slide around, and we can crimp the back too, just to make it stronger. We might as well go the whole way and crimp these guys. I don't really care about the back. I don't make my pieces reversible usually, but it's neat when people tell me, you know what, I could wear it either way, because I do like how it looks on the back. This loop is off to the side. I'm going to pull it more straight. Now, normally I would take some E6000. This is what I used to do. And just put it right in there. Just rub it, because that's the back. You don't see it. The E6000 dries clear, so you can see it a little bit, but you don't really notice it if you're not looking for it. Now, I'm trying to be more of a purist and stay away from putting glue on the stone. So I'm going to take some very thin wire. I'm going to take a very thin piece. I'm going to anchor it right here, and then I'm just going to wrap it, tuck it under, go around once in each of these little crevices, and just kind of zigzag my way up to hold everything tight so this stuff doesn't move around when someone's wearing it. And again, I'm going to take that tiny piece of wire, and I'm going to anchor it, go around a few times and anchor it right in there. I'm telling you this because sometimes this is a little tedious. Sometimes I don't want to take up too much of your time. We're already past 10 minutes. But sometimes that very thin wire, it's like a pain to, get it through, pull it tight. So I'll take you through a little bit of it. Here goes. This is a 24 gauge. 26 would be good too, but 28 would work, anywhere in there. And this is about 8-9 inches. I'm not going to need all that, just to be on the safe side. I'm going to find the bottom here. And now that I made everything tight, it's hard to get under it. So I got to pull up on it sometimes, and be careful you don't slip. Sometimes just a fingernail will work, just to get it to come up a little bit and get that under there. Wow, I made that really tight. And I'm actually going to crimp these guys too, because I want... Another good thing about a crimp is it gives a place for the wire to grab. And I'm going to come through here to start. Oh, I took about like 4 minutes to get that. I usually don't make them this tight. I think because I'm explaining to you and going slow, I made it extra tight. But anyway, you see that? I'm in the middle of this wire. I got it underneath. And now I'm just going to work from one side all the way up to the top, and then work from the other side all the way up to the top. And between those two sides, I should cover a lot of tightening all these little ends. So we'll take this one, and we're going to jump all the way up here. Just use your best judgment of mechanics at this point, where you think two pieces would hold themselves the strongest. And every time I go around twice. Under, and then under again. And then this is where you might need the pliers. Pull it real tight till you feel that boom, where it just catches, where it's really in there. And then I'll pick my next part to go around. I think I'm going to go around right here. Maybe I'll go around all three of these. There we go. Well, now it's moving nicely. So now thread it again under there. It's going to be a long video. I hope you guys have patience. Some of you are amazing. I get impatient with videos. If they start moving too slowly, I fast forward them. All right. I think that's good. I mean, that one did enough for me. I don't need to do any more. So I'm going to wrap it around here a couple times. And then, because this is a teeny tiny bit of wire, instead of just tucking it right in, I'm going to swirl it first. So I have like a larger chunk to tuck. So, you know what? I don't even need this much. I'm going to cut off like right there. And then I'm going to take this and make a little loop. Swirl it. Okay, when I get it right to there to the swirl, I just pick it up like that, and I shove it right in that little bowl area. Get in there, bam. You know, that's, again, it's tighter than normal. I'm gonna have to use less of this. There we go. Tiny little bit, because that bowl is really tight there. All right, that's shoved in. Now let's take the second strand, figure out where that can use some anchoring. Right here, obviously. Pull up on that with my nail, and we're in. And it fits right in that little crimp I made. Come back around. Pulling it tight again. Focus camera. Where else? Feel around. Where's it moving? This is pretty solid. Nothing is moving. There we go. That piece. This piece is still moving. I don't know how I forgot that. All right, let's come down here and get it under here. Ooh, that's tight. Wow. I was looking pretty before. Now it's looking kind of messy. That's all right. All right. I think we're good. Nothing is moving now. We're all solid. We have just enough room to come back up. Just come around once. Give him a little swirl and tuck him in. He's good. This camera really doesn't like to focus on the action. Bam. Now I'm going to put E6000 in there. But the cool thing is that there won't be any E6000 touching the stone. So the stone is completely held only by wire. If you ever wanted to take it off, it would fall, you know, just unravel or cut the wire and the stone would fall right out. Good as new. E6000 kind of rubs off like skin, so it doesn't hurt the stone, but it's always cool when you don't need it. Now, pick out a cute chain. I'm going to give you guys a tip. Don't buy a chain single at a time. Buy a whole bulk of them. You get them way cheaper. You're going to be making 10 pieces at least. Chain comes in packs of 10 often. You can order it. I like this 16 gauge. 16 gauge, sorry. 16 inches. So it's a little bit shorter. Your average chain is 18. So this one will sit up a little high on the collarbone, which is nice. Not quite a choker. And I like to put 3 jump rings, 3 or 4 or 5, because it keeps the stone from spinning more. If you just put one, it can spin on the person's chest. Also, it mimics the many layers I have right here. You see the layers up here. You'll see. There we go. See that? Now, I like to mess with everything. I like to fix everything. Look at this. This chain was cool, but look at that tiny little, flimsy little loop on the end. That's hard for some people with big fingers to grasp. I'm going to put a bigger jump ring on the end just to make it easier. And I always try to make this time I put it in the left hand, but I usually try to put the clasp in the right hand. 9 out of 10 people are right-handed. That way when they put it on, they won't accidentally put it on upside down. But I'll ask them, are you right-handed? If they're left-handed, obviously, switch it. And there we have it. Let me know in the comments, you guys, if you like these longer, really drawn out videos, or if you like the ones where I just, skip all the mundane stuff and show you the steps quickly and then that finished piece. I really appreciate your feedback, and I don't have much preference. I'll make either type of video, whatever you like. You guys just tell me. You're in charge in a sense. Thank you guys so much.
Did you want any next Oh, I didn't know, sorry.
Please don't forget to